So in today's video, I'm going to show you guys how I like to prime lacquer painted cabinets to get them ready for latex paint instead, because you could always use lacquer, but in this situation we can't. So what we're going to do is we're going to sand down, prep these cabinets, and get them primed and ready for latex. So stick around, don't go anywhere. Oh, by the way, this is like the DIY home edition. I am a professional painter, disclaimer, but this is like anybody could do this. So stick around, don't go anywhere, it's easy. So before we get too far along in the video, I want to say thanks for stopping by, and also want to mention that all of the tools that I will be using in this video, I have links, and I leave all the links in the description below. So today we're dealing with these cabinets here. They're actually a lacquer painted cabinet. The thing about the lacquer cabinets is it's kind of a production grade kind of coating to put on these cabinet doors. Well, they've taken some wear and tear over the years and they needed to be coated. So I decided to go ahead and do it with the latex. Instead of having to strip these all the way down to bare bones, we decided to do a latex coating on top. So what we used is a Rudd undercoater. I'll also leave a link in the description for the type of primer that I used. I used a Rudd undercoater. What that does is that gives a real solid enamel hard bond. And then from there you can go ahead and add any kind of enamel top coat that you want. I chose to use a Scuff X for this particular project. Now, on this project, I don't normally do my cabinets like this, but I had recently done a cabinet job with a friend of mine, and we were kind of limited on time, and we had to do it in a rush job, and this is kind of how I did it. Now, I typically like to do cabinets in a closed environment, and I'll explain to you why. Here in this alleyway, the way I had it set up, there was an oak tree nearby, and you can kind of see the shade on there. And as soon as I got all these pieces painted, a big old gust of wind came. Look at the trees. You can see the trees just really start shaking. And look, I'm noticing it now. I'm like, what the heck? And there's a leaf falls down. You'll start seeing stuff just start falling down. There it was, all over these. I was so bummed out. I was so disheartened. You can see I'm just like, oh my goodness. I started looking at all of the pieces, even the ones that weren't under the tree. We got stuff all. I was pretty bummed out. Let me tell you what. So these things happen. So funny thing is, look, right now, it's a little windy now, but there was no wind, zero wind, right? I spray these cabinets and like a 50-mile-an-hour gust of wind came and knocked everything off of that tree. As much as I want to give up, I'm not gonna. So I have to set up a new area for these ones to dry. I'm gonna have to re-sand them. So you can see there's just stuff all over them. Every single piece. Even like stuff was like kicking up off of the ground. So we'll see what we're gonna do, but I'm super bummed out. So we're just gonna keep moving forward. We have other pieces that still need to be sprayed. We're gonna only spray the ones that aren't under the tree. And then these ones we're just gonna have to fix, man. It's just gotta do what we gotta do. So let's do it. So stuff like this always happens. Not always, okay, I take that back, but in the painting world, a lot of things can go wrong. That's why it's real important to kind of take your time and try to think things through. But in this case, I didn't really do that. I just try to squeeze this job in between a couple other jobs that I have. And, I was trying to take some shortcuts, try to set up a little easy, quick setup, and that's what I get. But I learned my lesson. Day 2, we sanded them down, and now you can see me re-priming them again, putting a nice thick coat of primer on them suckers because they need to dry and they need to sit for a while. And then we're going to go ahead and sand them down after this, and then we'll put 2 more coats of paint on top, and they'll be ready to deliver and install. So if I learned anything from this, don't set up your table underneath a tree, especially on a windy day. And if you have the option, place it somewhere where there isn't a tree. Ideal situation for doing cabinets would be a closed environment. So maybe get like they have those pop-up shades. You can do that and use like binder clips and stuff, and you can hang drops down. I've done that in the past. That works. I needed a bigger area though, because I had a lot of pieces. I think there was close to 30 pieces on this project. So I needed a place to where I could paint them, put them somewhere when they're wet, and then also have a place to store the dry ones. So a place to pull the dry ones, a place to paint it, and then a place to put them when they were dry. So this is going to take me, all in all, it's going to be like a 4-day job, 2 days. After I get them all primed though, let me tell you, once they're all primed, the next process will go quickly, but there's a lot of dry time there's a lot of dry time that I have to think about, because once you put that coat of paint on, you can't really do a whole lot with them until it's completely cured. And a lot of times with these enamels and acrylic paints that you put on to enamel paints that you, a lot of times with this enamel paint that you put on, you know, you have to be careful and give it plenty of time to cure. All right, we did it. We got them all primed, and now we'll let them sit. Tomorrow we'll give them a light sanding with the 220, and then we'll paint them, and then they'll look beautiful, you know? I don't think you guys want to see all that. If you do want to see a clip of me putting like white on white on white on white 2 times, because that's I primed them white, but now and then I'm gonna paint them white. And if that's something you're interested in like watching, then I'll go ahead and upload that to my second channel, my purely paint channel. It's Timo Paints, and yeah, that's where I kind of just put raw footage of me painting. So if you're into that, I got your back. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.